welcome everybody here to our ceremony here at Veterans Park. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge here we have the 912 Honor Guard. We have the 912 Auxiliary. We have the Sons of the American Legion Squadron 912. We also happen to have with us Girl Scout Troop 5253 members who helped us put flags at St. Patrick's Cemetery and Maple Hill. Thank you very much for those. We appreciate that. At this time, Father, would you lead us in prayer?
Let us pray. Gracious God, on this Memorial Day weekend, we remember and give thanks for those who have given their lives in the service of our country. When the need was greatest, they stepped forward and did their duty to defend the freedoms that we enjoy and to win the same for others. Oh God, you yourself have taught us that no love is greater than that which gives itself for another. These honored dead gave the most precious gift they had, life itself, for loved ones and neighbors, for comrades and country, and for us. Help us to honor their memory by caring for the family members they have left behind, by ensuring that their wounded comrades are properly cared for, by being watchful caretakers of the freedoms for which they gave their lives, and by demanding that no other young men and women follow them to a soldier's grave, unless the reason is worthy and the cause is just. Holy One, help us to remember that freedom is not free. There are times when its cost is indeed dear. Never let us forget those who paid so terrible a price to ensure that freedom would be our legacy. Though their names may fade with the passing of generations, may we never forget what they have done. Help us to be worthy of their sacrifice, O God. Help us to be worthy. Amen.
They still speak to us. If you listen quietly, you can hear them. You remember their voices from conversations you had before they gave their last measure of devotion to this nation. And even if you are not a Gold Star family member, a battle buddy, friend, or relative of a fallen hero, all you have to do is look around and you will see their legacy. It is us, Americans gathered in a free society, unified with the common purpose of honoring uncommon bravery. We are their legacy. Regardless of the place where the war fought, the purity of their sacrifice is without question. Young men and women lost their lives in order to make the freedom of others possible. More than 1 million U.S. heroes had their lives cut short while fighting in wars since the American Revolution. Time only permits to tell just a few of the remarkable stories today, but they are representative of many. A century ago, America was engaged in the war to end all wars, World War I. It was there that a brash aviator from Arizona earned a reputation for recklessness. Though he exasperated many of his superior officers, the 21-year-old pilot gained a remarkable 18 aerial victories over German pilots in just 18 days. Frank Luke's missions usually involved busting observation balloons, which the Germans used to sight artillery. On September 29, 1918, Second Lieutenant Luke shot down 3 balloons as he was being relentlessly pursued by 8 enemy aircraft. Under heavy fire, his own plane went down near the town of Rouses, France. Surrounded by the enemy on the ground, he drew his automatic pistol and defended himself gallantly until he fell dead from a wound in the chest. Frank Luke was the first pilot to receive the Medal of Honor. Fast forward 50 years to another continent with yet another determined group of young American heroes. Sharon Lane was committed to caring for those heroes and entered the Army Nurse Corps in 1968. A year later, the 25-year-old from North Industry, Ohio, was working hard at the 312th Evacuation Hospital in Chu Lai, South Vietnam. Women were exempted from the draft. First Lieutenant Lane was a volunteer, and she was where she wanted to be, and that happened to be with wounded soldiers. This was not surprising to her mother, who once told a reporter that as a child she was always caring for someone or something. She always had a cat or dog or some animal that she was taking care of. As our nation observed Vietnam War Veterans Day on March 29th, there was no Wikipedia page for Lieutenant Lane. She did not have the medals of Audie Murphy or the fame of Sergeant Alvin York, yet she was just as much a hero. Rocket and mortar attacks were common at her base in July. In a letter home, she wrote of one attack. We got all the patients under the beds that we could and put mattresses over the tracks. Very interesting place, but hardly anyone here is scared. It is just like part of the job. On June 8, 1969, First Lieutenant Sharon Lane made the ultimate sacrifice after a 122-millimeter rocket blasted through her ward, killing her and a 12-year-old Vietnamese girl. Sharon Lane was the only female nurse to be killed by enemy fire during the Vietnam War. The heroes that we remember today are not exclusive to any gender, race, or religion. They are a diverse group wedded to the common principle that America is a nation worth dying for. Not all of these heroes died because of enemy gunfire. Military service sometimes requires dangerous risk, even when its members are far from the combat zone. Certainly, the 4 Marines who entered a CH-53E Super Stallion helicopter last month during a training exercise in Southern California did not expect it to be their final mission. Yet it was. On April 3rd, 2018, 4 young men, all in their 20s to 30s, died for the country as a result of the helicopter crash. The youngest, 24-year-old Lance Corporal Terror Conrad of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, became a first-time father in October. The longest-serving Marine of the group, Gunnery Sergeant Richard Hawley, had completed 2 tours in Iraq. Captain Samuel Schultz, previously deployed with the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit. His fellow pilot, First Lieutenant Samuel Phillips, was from Pinehurst, North Carolina, and joined the Marine Corps in August of 2013. The hardest part of being a Marine is the tragic loss of life of a fellow brother in arms, their commanding officer, Colonel Craig LaFleur, said. These warhorse Marines brought joy and laughter to so many around them. They served honorably, wore the uniform proudly, and were a perfect example of what makes our Marine Corps great, its people. They will forever be in our hearts and minds. And they will forever be in our hearts and minds as well. Not just these Marines, but all soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardmen, and Marines who have made the ultimate sacrifice for this nation. We also extend our gratitude and support for a group that nobody wants to join, but has already given their country so much, the Gold Star families. As we observe Memorial Day every year, these families remember their fallen ones every day. Children without parents, Gold Star mothers and fathers, spouses and siblings, they can still hear the voices of those that they lost. And it is up to us to hear the voices of these families, offer our support, and express our highest gratitude. Whether the people we remember served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the war on terrorism, or any place or time in between, we say thank you for the freedom that you have given us. We are here because of you. God bless you all, God bless America, and God bless our fallen heroes. At this time, auxiliary members Carol and Donnie Maynard will place the memorial wreath.
Commander, honor our departed comrades who have made the supreme sacrifice. Hanukkah is hoop for arms. Ready, arms. Aim. Fire. Aim. Aim. Fire. now concludes our ceremony here. You are now all invited up to the post for a light luncheon. Thank you very much for attending.
We have just finished with the annual Memorial Day service here at Veterans Park in Rouses Point, and we wanted to talk to this fellow here because there was an article in the paper a couple of days ago. First of all, who are you?
My name's Robert St. John, and I'm the 4th District Commander of the Department of New York American Legion.
Okay, I never know which title you are at a particular time, so I want to let you tell us.
So, that's what it is this year.
Okay. So there was an article in the paper about looking for young members eligible members to join the Legion.
Yes, a lot of our legions and VFWs also comprise now mostly of Vietnam vets. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans to come in and be part of our organizations, so that way we are not a dying breed. Unfortunately, that's what's happening is a lot of legions and VFWs both are having to turn in their charters because they just can't keep up the membership or their buildings or whatever. So we need new blood. We need and we need to change the way that we have been doing things in the past. We need the posts need to be more open. They need to be more family orientated and everything, so that way these young veterans coming in with their families and that have a place to go. That that old stereotype of the old dark Legion or VFW hall where veterans just go to drink and
Smoke cigarettes.
We used to, no more. At least that's gone. But tell the war stories or whatever. Those days are gone. We actually need more of the younger members to come in to continue our programs that we have started. In fact, they started back in World War I when the American Legion was first formed, and right after World War I. And with the programs, the GI Bill that the American Legion fought for to get with the World War II vets, and now we have the Forever GI Bill for the young vets, the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans or whatever. So our children and youth programs that we do, the flag patriotism that we do, the flag etiquette education that we do in the schools. But a lot of us are getting to that point of, we need the younger ones in there to take over what we have started and what needs to be continued.
Well, we hear a lot about the PTSD and other things that are happening with a lot of our particularly young veterans coming back. And I think being a part of something like the Legion or a VFW would certainly be a benefit to people who might be concerned about that. It
would be a benefit, and in one way of just the camaraderie of being around people that that you share the same thing. But it's also so that way then they can get the help through our service officers that are accredited by the American Legion and by the VFW, and they're trained or whatever, so that way they can help these veterans come in and try and get some relief from the problems that they are having, and knowing that there's somebody there that can understand that we know what you are going through and we're there to help.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to have issues to join, but people, particularly people with issues, should consider this. But I know VFW is kind of obvious based on the name alone, what you have to be to become a member of the VFW. But the Legion, I know there's people who served in the 50s who weren't eligible because of certain restrictions as to who can join.
Well, when Congress first to charter the American Legion, and it was all World War I vets. They were the ones that formed the American Legion, and at that time, Congress with the charter stated that you had to be a wartime era vet to be able to join the American Legion. And unfortunately, all of these veterans, male and female, during the after Korea, during the Cold War, which we called in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, that if are not eligible to join the American Legion because it was not a wartime era.
But
And that's-
Vietnam was.
Korea, and then you go to Lebanon, Grenada. Those are separation dates, certain months, that if you were a veteran during that time period, you can join. But for the vast majority of the Cold War, they're not eligible to join. And we have put forth resolutions, or trying to put forth resolutions, to include these individuals, but it has to be changed in Congress to change the charter of the American Legion to be able to accept those veterans. And each year it seems like when we have a department convention that comes up, somebody puts out a resolution hoping that it will get passed to pass it on to national level and then go to Congress for these Cold War vets, but it hasn't happened yet. So we keep trying, but we don't know when or if ever it will happen. But we need the membership.
Right.
And you're excluding a big block of veterans that you could help to join the American Legion and continue its programs.
Yes, many were drafted and many volunteered, and it's important that their service is recognized also.
Exactly, and that's what we've been trying to say for so many years, that it's things need to change. The legions need to change the way they operate, the way they do things, and open it up more to the family. And that's another thing that we need to change, that I feel, is we need to, a veteran, you're a veteran. To me, that's what it is. It doesn't make any difference if you served during a wartime era, or like a VFW where you actually got a campaign medal or whatever, where you served on boots ground overseas somewhere or whatever. But the thing is, it does need to change.
Okay, so I guess what we're saying here, though, is that if you've got a family member who could join the Legion and or VFW, encourage them to do so. Feel free to contact any of the local posts. I'm sure they'll give you the information you need. No commitment if you contact them, just to find out what it's all about.
What it's all about, and you're welcome to come into the post and see what it's like or whatever, and talk to some of the veterans that are in there. We don't shun anybody away.
And you don't require that they have to go to a meeting every month.
No.
Encourage them to do so, but they don't have to be there.
They don't need to, as long as they're a member. The thing is that with the amount of members that we have, we need a big voting bloc in this country when it comes to veterans' rights. And if we don't have that voting bloc, then there's a chance that whatever we have gotten or whatever we want to continue to fight for our veterans that are coming back, because this country, when they ask you to join or they ask you to serve, they have an obligation to serve us when we come back.
That's right.
And so we gave up a portion of our lives to be able to be here and defend this country. And it's up to those politicians and that to stand behind us and finally give us our rights, and also to improve upon them. So.
Okay. Anything else, Bob?
No, I think that about does it, Calvin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
So.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
All right. Robert St. John, the 4th Vice Commander.
4th District Commander.
Perfect District Commander. No vice involved.
No, that was last year.
All right. Thank you,
Moved up.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.